Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the community call number 11. I'm Pratik. I lead marketing at Covalent. The month of April was really exciting. And parts of May, because parts of March, I think we missed the end of March timing for the community call number 11. So we are doing it this in the middle of the month. And that's how we'll keep the cadence as well from here on. But yeah, we're excited to catch up with you, with all of you. There's a lot of things that have happened in March and April, from the Avalanche Summit to like a lot of things on the back end. We also kind of shipped a couple of big updates on the API side. We also are continuing to do multiple hackathons. We had the Cronos governance proposal that went through, and we have today, we also have Ella, who's joining us from Cronos Chain. Cronos is the crypto.com chain, as we all know, and it got unanimous voting for the first time on our governance side of things. So pretty excited to have you, Ella, on the call. And yeah, to take this off, I'll just pass this on to Ganesh.
Thank you, Pratik. So high level, there are three big points I want to touch upon before sharing the floor with other team members here and then opening up for Q&A. So the first thing is that we are a product-driven company, right? So we have a product that's been out in the market for a couple of years now. It's the leading unified API, and our traction speaks for itself. And here, what we've done is we've released three exciting brand new products just in the last couple of months. So just this year. So I'll refer to the roundup for the actual details, but a lot of these things are unparalleled in the space. What that means is that this gives developers a new venue, a new kind of platform to build really exciting, novel, unseen before experiences. So the first endpoint that we released is a set of endpoints for the Nft Market Cap. Now, NFTs have taken the world by storm last year, but there is no unified way to pull out all kinds of things about NFT market data. So this could be like the liquidity. This could be what is the ownership structure? What are the historical floor prices? And so we've been able to do this across all of our 30 plus blockchains. I mean, that's the magic of the Covalent architecture. Once we introduce an API, it's just expands through all of the supported blockchains. So that's a product feature, and we have dashboards and we have all kinds of tools. And the last couple of hackathons is very impressive to see what developers are building with these NFT market endpoints. The second exciting product feature is Solana Balances. Now, so far, every single blockchain that we've supported at Covalent has been a EVM-based blockchain. And Solana has taken a lot of work. So we've invested months and months and months of work to get the balances out. And so we were able to ship that as well in the last couple of weeks. And we're, it's early days there. So we will have transaction support, we'll have NFT support in the coming months and coming weeks. Solana is a very different kind of blockchain, and therefore it required us to rethink our architecture and rethink our schema and our responses and how we pull data. So it's a lot of work, but I think we are well positioned for supporting other non-EVM chains down the line. The third most exciting product release is our block specimen patches. So the block specimen is one of the key components of the Covalent network. So the Covalent decentralized network, one of the unique facets of the network is that it's a proof-based system. What that means is that every step along the way, from extraction to cleansing to normalization to the query, can be verified. So they're verified like proofs at every step along the way. So the block specimens is our canonical storage that represents the unified schema across all the supported blockchains. So here the team has done some excellent work in building that piece of technology over the past year and then open sourcing the reference implementation plus the open source specification. So that was a pretty major release. And what's exciting about this is that when we announced this product release, we had unanimous support from all of the blockchains. So I think there were like 13 or 14 blockchains that retweeted and shared our post, because what will happen down the line is that all of these blockchains will now adopt the patches, the block specimen patches, so they can confirm to the decentralized data middleware vision that we have and that we've been building towards over the past couple of years. So that's just on the product front. And we will keep the product engine and the product train running. And the reason for that is that, we are a child of the bear market. What that means is that when we started Covalent 4.5 years ago, there was no DeFi, there was no NFT, but we continued shipping. And this is really the only way to push the industry forward. So we don't, the market sentiment may be high, maybe low, but ultimately at the end of the day, the onus is on us, projects like Covalent, to push the edge of what's possible. So we will continue to keep this cadence over the coming months and over the coming years, in fact. And so we'll never waver from that. So that's why there's so much emphasis on the product. The second big update that I want to share is with events. Now, Covalent has never been to any real life events in the last 2 years, mostly because of the lockdown. And, some of it is because, we were just too heads down building and, getting our, managing our growth and things of that nature. But this year we've been to 2 events, and it made me realize how much I miss these events. They're so much fun, very exhausting. Like, don't get me wrong, very exhausting, but it's so great to meet our friends, our partners, the developers who build on Covalent, the blockchains who we partner with, other kinds of ecosystem partners. It's really great to, share a meal with them and so on. So here we've gone to 2 events this year so far. The first was ETH Denver. So ETH Denver was in Feb, and it's one of the biggest ETH hackathons. And 2 years ago, when we went to Denver, we were a very small team. We were the underdogs. There was no traction, no revenue, no customers. There was an API, but it was not a unified API. The vision and the ambition was a lot smaller. And this year, when we went back to ETH Denver, we had a big booth, probably the biggest booth in the expo hall. We had, we're a team of about 60 people now, tens of thousands of developers, thousands of applications, 30 plus blockchains indexed, and so on. So it's a really great feeling to go out there and, show the community that, we've progressed a lot. We haven't really scaled up. In fact, I would say our vision, our ambition has scaled up in light of the recent growth that has happened with the space. The second event we went to is the Avalanche Summit in Barcelona. So here, Avalanche is one of our key partners, and truly honored to be a part of their technical, product release. So they were releasing something called subnets, which is their solution to scaling like L1 throughput. And so here we had 3 or 4 sessions talking about, how to take subnets to market. What are some of the other ecosystem partners and some of the other ecosystem fixtures that you need to be successful? So it was a really great event, and then followed by the hackathon. And again, a lot of these hackathons, Covalent, the unified API, happens to be the most used product. So out of, I think there was about 60 projects that were submitted, about 15 or 16 of them, the most by any other project out there, were using the Covalent API. Of course, the subnets were not live as of then. So I think in the future, when we index subnets, we will be the best when it comes to pulling data from subnets. So that's another exciting, event that we went out to Barcelona. And there's more coming up in the next couple of months. We have Permissionless, we have ETH New York, we have NFT NYC, we have Consensus, and then further down we have like ETH Lisbon and so on. The third big update is a question that's been on all of our minds: when staking launch? And I'm not going to leak a lot of alpha here, but I will now ask Indy to share what our plans are with staking, what is the update there, what have we planned on the marketing front, and so on. I think she's very ready. She said like she's excited to share what we have in store. So take it away, Indy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Indy. Thank you for being here. Happy to see all these awesome faces. So when staking, again, we're keeping it pretty loose. As mentioned in previous years, we are going to be using Moonbeam as the settlement layer. So keep your eyes on Covalent sometime around Q2. As for marketing, we have a new series of webinars called the Covalent Network Partner Series. Part 1 will be the kickoff on April 25th, and that is going to start at around 11 a.m. PST, and we will be exploring the settlement layer with Nate Hamilton from Moonbeam. Part 2 will be April 27th from 9 to 10 a.m., and this one will be all about validators and the Covalent network, and we will be joined with Felix and Xavier from Chorus One. And then last but not least, part 3 of the Covalent Network Partner Series will be bridging and its benefits on April 29th, again at 11 to 12 p.m. And we will be joined with Arjun from Connect and Pranay from Nomad. So keep your eyes on our Twitter. We will be going live with the announcements as well as the RSVP links for you to join. Thanks. That's everything from me.
Thank you, Indy. So the staking launch is a mammoth project, right? It's not all timelines are under our control. We require Moonbeam to be ready. We require a Oracle to be ready so that we can price the assets. We need a solid bridge partner to take CKT across to Moonbeam. And this bridge partner has to be scalable across all the blockchains that we need, because we want CKT exposure on all blockchains in the future. So getting all of these timelines, getting all of these external parties who have all of their internal agendas all aligned is quite a task. But I'm happy that we're inching closer and closer to the staking launch and starting with the marketing angle with the webinars. Awesome, Prateek. So what else is in store for us?
Yeah, I think we've covered most of the points. Let's head to our guest for today, Ella. She's joining us from Singapore. It's pretty late out there.
Hey guys, yeah, good to be here. Super excited about our collaboration.
So Ella, I have some questions for you. Let's make this an ad hoc Q&A.
Sure.
So first, maybe you should introduce yourself, what you do at Cronos or crypto.com. Are you on the technical side, or are you on the business side? And then second, let's go into what aspect about Covalent and our partnership are you most excited about? And then the third thing is that if you can, why does the Covalent network matter, the decentralized version?
Sure. Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Ella Qiang. I lead ecosystem and partnerships for Cronos. So I'm more on the business and business development side of Cronos. And as you mentioned, Cronos is backed by crypto.com, but obviously we're bigger than that, right? Crypto.com as being a very strong supporter from day one. And actually Cronos was incubated by the R&D blockchain team at crypto.com. But over time, as we grow the ecosystem, as we bring in more partners to the ecosystem, we believe that Cronos is gonna go even bigger than the current crypto.com ecosystem. For those who are not super familiar with Cronos, so we are the first Cosmos EVM chain that's for DeFi, NFTs, and Metaverse. With the Cosmos SDK component, we're interoperable from day one between Cronos and also other IBC enabled chains in Cronos. And in fact, we're already enabled IBC bridges with Crypto.org chain, with Cosmos Hub, with Terra, with Akash, and aiming to bringing more interoperabilities among the Cosmos ecosystem to Cronos. And with the EVM component, with the EVM module, we actually provide a very easy way for other dApps to port directly over to Cronos. So that brings to why Covalent is really important to our ecosystem, because of a lot of the dApps that are currently deployed on Cronos are also deploying on a lot of other EVM chains, right? So having a unified API is very, very essential to those dApps, so they don't have to, have a separate interactions whenever when they deploy to a new chain. And I think, as an industry, we're moving kind of more towards this multi-chain future, and having a very good dApp experience when they go to a new chain is extremely important for a new ecosystem such as Cronos.
Amazing, Ella. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Really happy to be here. So one interesting tidbit about the team here is that it was an inbound, right? Without any kind of solicitation from us, they went ahead and wrote a governance proposal. And I should add, a really good governance proposal, right? They read our governance proposal templates and the schema and the format, and put in the work and the effort and the research and the backing, and wrote this exceptional governance report to index the chain. So really grateful for contributing to the community, the Covalent community. Okay, great. I think we are coming towards the end of our biggest agenda. Is there anything else, Prateek, you want to share before we open up the floor to questions?
No, I think we can dive right into the questions for today. So let me pick up the first question. It's Saurav. He's asking about if Covalent is keen on partnerships or has grants, support programs for Web3 builders. We won a few of the hackathons with Covalent. Congratulations, Saurav. And we're subsequently informed that such engagements are not a possibility. This was a few months back, so wanted to see if things have changed.
Yeah, so Saurav, I can take this answer on. We don't have a formal grants program as of yet, but that is something on our to-do over the coming months. So definitely, I would say past summer, we want to support more builders. We want to support projects. When Covalent started, we built Covalent at a hackathon. That's our genesis story. And we relied on grants to bootstrap the first couple of years. So I know that pain personally, firsthand, of what it is to take a project from a hackathon to a commercial or a place where it's sustainable. So we will have support for you. But in the meanwhile, outside of the monetary support, this is what we can promise you. If you need any kind of product feedback, we have thousands of applications, so we've seen most of the use cases. If you want to think through the product, reach out to our team. Happy to jump on a call and ideate on the product side. If you need fundraising support, who are the right partners? How do you get access to investors? How should you structure your deal? Is it token or is it equity? Like, what are the norms, the legal norms right now? It's all mostly like equity token warrants. We've seen a lot of the deals out there. So happy to brainstorm on that front. And then finally, on the biz dev effort, we have a network of 30 plus blockchains, and probably the extended family here is in the hundreds, if not the thousands. So do you want access to custodians or exchanges or wallet providers or other data providers like node providers or blockchains or whatever it is? Happy to make that biz dev connection. So this is what we can offer outside of the cash component. And I would say, arguably, for a junior, younger team, this is more helpful and more impactful than the dollar figure itself. So, Saurav, thanks for for participating in the call, and please reach out to our team. And happy to jump on a call. Even this morning, I jumped on a half-an-hour call with this team that's building something, and I was able to provide value in how to go to market and how to get traction and so on.
Great. So there's another question around plans to, I think we've answered this previously, but yeah, good to kind of throw light on this now. Plans to kind of index private data using ZK proofs. And if yes, how is this going to be and when?
So these timelines are still in the research phase. They're not in the go-to-market or commercial stages yet. If you look at the norms with the zero knowledge blockchains that are coming out with Starkware and ZK Sync, this is a multi-year approach. So these teams have been working for like 4+ years, and only now I don't think they even have like generalized compute capability using the zero knowledge circuits. So these things are like pretty far off, to be honest. But we'll continue to invest in that. Once the network is up, it's a natural extension because it'll just explode our total addressable market, because most data is still dark data behind the confines of your firewall.
Perfect. Okay, when will you provide any staking opportunity? I think we've answered this question. For all staking related questions, and I saw one in the chat as well, will it be before Q2? Will it get delayed? Like Indy mentioned, Q2 is what we have planned. And Ganesh also said that, yes, things can go wrong, but we are aiming for Q2. And we are very confident on our side. But there are also multiple factors, external stakeholders. So yeah, we just have to be sure before we commit to a specific date. But from our side, it's Q2. All right, there's another question around how have you decided on exactly how much the APY? I think, again, this is also based on like multiple factors, the key factor being supply and demand. Shafin had mentioned it could be 12 to 15% is what Ben is saying. I mean, yes, there are multiple factors, but Ganesh, you want to highlight on that, what the exact APY would be?
Absolutely. So as Prateek said, it's going to be supply and demand, and the clearing price there is going to be the APY. So our target is to hit the industry norms of 10 to 15%, right? It's going to be fluctuating because these things are calculated per block. So you usually look at the interest per block and then you analyze that, and that's generally how you get the APY. So it's very noisy, but we're trying to target there. So we have a control system that controls the target APY. And the counterbalance to this is the percentage of the circulating supply that is locked in staking. So these two factors are inputs to our model. And we will be transparent with everything. The cool thing about this whole thing is that the data is going into a chain, and the data is available through the Covalent Unified API. So anyone can verify these calculations. You just have to open up Excel and download the data. So we will have other kinds of like hackathons and activities for people to independently create their own staking stuff. But roughly, you're in the right ballpark, 10 to 15%, and about 30% of the circulating supply. My understanding is that there's no more big unlocks happening, so it's there's no supply shock anymore. So that's generally what we are targeting.
Perfect. There's a question around the Alchemist program. Is it just webinars? Will there be more? Because I noticed a little stop to the programming. So yeah, I think I can take that up, but I'll also leave Ganesh like after me answering. So basically, Alchemist 3.0, and then we did a fair bit of like updates on that side. It's still in beta. Which means we are experimenting on a new, entirely new structure for the program, which will have like multiple initiatives. Workshops is just one of them. We are also like really, I mean, in the back end on the in the beta, we are working with multiple alchemists on getting this program together. So, but yeah, there's a lot happening. You will see everything like going live in public pretty soon. But yeah, Ganesh, you want to talk about it more?
That's a great overview, but let me give you some context here. So Alchemist 1.0 was a centralized program with a very defined structure via seasons. So Jackie, who's currently on our honeymoon, congrats to Jackie. Otherwise she would have been on this call. Maybe she should like get on this call in the middle of her honeymoon, maybe not. But she put that whole program together, and I would say that is unparalleled in the space. There's no program where this is a growth and leadership, and it's to onboard brand new people. And thousands of people join the Alchemist program, including some of our core staff here. So here, Emmanuel, Leilani, CK, Luke, these guys are all alchemists who joined the program, leveled up, and then got full-time Web3 opportunities. So it's a massive success. Now, Alchemist 2.0, which is the DAO structure, the consensus is that we moved too fast with a completely new structure without really understanding how to make it work. It was just a lot of moving parts. So the answer here was to scale back and go back to first principles and figure out what kind of structure actually makes sense. So now the Alchemist 3.0, the reason you don't hear about it, even though it's very active, is because it's actually a decentralized kind of program. So now they're quest-based systems, and we have 3 quests that are in the bootstrap phase. So before we scale up a program, we actually run it in the bootstrap phase, figure out what's working, tweak the knobs before scaling up, right? You don't want to scale something up that is on a very weak foundation or a weak structure. So the 3 quests that are in the bootstrap phase right now are the meetup in a box. So there's a meetup running basically every week, including one completely in Spanish by Max. I'm not sure if he's on this call. And we just give them all of the resources. And this is an excellent structure that's been put together by Shantanu, who I believe is on this call. It's just, to teach people about meetups. So we've had meetups in Canada, meetups in India, meetups in Argentina. And so we'll scale that up over the coming months. The second kind of Alchemist quest is a hackathon in a box. Lei Bing, I'm not sure if he's on this call. So this is essentially everything that you need to run a decentralized hackathon. So the bounty definition, the code samples, all of the branding material, everything, it's just given to you, and then you just run it over a weekend or whatever that structure is. So we've run a couple of hackathons there. I think there's a couple coming up with Clayton and other blockchains in the near future, like in the next couple of weeks. So that's the second thing that is still in the bootstrap phase. So there's nothing to talk about it because we're still trying to figure out what's working and what's not working. And then the third thing is the actual regional leaders. So here we've had 3 successful months of regional, like all of the regional Telegram channels. And there, we've seen like 100% growth month over month over month. And we have like a bounty system. There's a lot of emergent behavior that's happening there. That's pretty exciting. Things that you cannot plan for. For example, shout out to the Turkey team. Shout out to the Espanol team. These guys, they bring a lot of innovation into how to market, Covalent, how to market their own teams. But the cool thing here is that it's not really cutthroat competition. It's not that kind of venue. So these teams are actually helping some of the other teams level up. Like this is like behavior that wasn't planned for. So that is still in the bootstrap phase, and we're tweaking the equation and the formula. Definitely jump on one of the community calls to figure out the Alchemist quest regionally the calls to figure out what's going on there. And it's truly decentralized. So it's that's how it should be, right? It should be more resilient. The Alchemist 1.0, there was lots of benefits to that, but that was a centralized program, and that's not the way you would scale this. So that's what's going on with the Alchemist quest. So you don't hear a lot about it because it's all in the bootstrap phase, but there's a lot of meetups, a lot of hackathons, a lot of regional leaders, a lot of growth going on all behind the scenes. So definitely dig in deeper and ask one of the team members. Harish just gave a shout out to Maxi with a coding school. Yeah, so kudos, 60 devs participating in the hackathon and helping them to develop some fundamental Web3 skills. This is what's happening on the ground floor. So that's what I can share.
Right. I think we have our last question. Maybe we'll end it up there. So it's according to the roadmap, testnet launch with block specimen producers is mentioned. So testnet is live and running right now?
My understanding is correct. So on the 18th, we are going to have actual operators being onboarded to the testnet. So these are external parties who are running block specimen producers. A bit of the delay here, just to give you a little more context here, is that we were snapshotting every single proof against the proof chain. And if you think about Ethereum, there's roughly about 5,000 blocks a day. And if you have 10 validators who are uploading their proofs, that's 50,000 transactions per day. And the cost estimate was something ridiculous, like $200,000 or something per month, which is just not feasible, right? It doesn't even matter like how much you have in the treasury. $200,000 a month is too much. So there we've had to go back to the drawing board and build a batching style upload. And we've been able to slash the cost. But every time we change the plan, go back to the drawing board and build something anew, you have to go through the QA process, you have to go through the audit process, you have to go through the internal testing, the external testing, the documentation. There's a lot of work that has to go in. And so that's what's going on right now. Yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, perfect. Great. I think we're done with questions. Yeah, just a quick update on events. We have NFT BC lined up for May 1st. This is for those who are in BC, Vancouver area. We are sponsoring the event. If you're going to be there, happy to catch up. There will be a bunch of our team members going. We will also be there at Permissionless in Palm Beach in Florida, along with Cronos. Ella is going to be there with us as well. Excited for that. And yeah, those are the two events that we'll be looking at before our next community call. Any parting thoughts, Ganesh?
No, it's been great. I think, we've all been waiting for staking. I personally have been like watching this project from day one. And I think we can see the launch, like, it's in a line of sight. So it's a pretty exciting time in the history of Covalent. This is probably the biggest and the most ambitious project we've taken on so far in our short history. But I think it's going to change the trajectory of Covalent.
Yeah, a lot of big changes. It's still calm before the storm. Perfect. Thanks,
Indeed,
everyone, for joining us. Ella, especially thank you for joining us from Singapore. The community call will be uploaded on YouTube. POAPs will be sent to the ones who attended the call. Thanks again for everyone joining. And yeah, see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys,
bye,
for
guys.
having me. Bye.